Victoria Pearson, but you can call me V, and unless this is your very first time seeing me on YouTube, in which case, hi, welcome. Nice to have you here. You will be aware that I do a daily gratitude video every single day. Rain or shine, Christmas Day, or when I've been up all night with a toothache, every single day, whatever else is happening in my life, I carve out 1 minute of my day to come and tell you guys what I'm grateful for. And last week, when I was just doing my general Welcome to 2026 video, I talked about how I started doing that, like the actual moment where I decided I'm going to pick up my phone, I'm going to record this, and I'm going to plonk it on the internet and forget about it. But I never actually got into the whys of daily gratitude, or the why I ask you guys to let me know something that you're grateful for. It isn't just something that I say, even though a lot of you seem to think it is and you don't tell me what you're grateful for, but as long as you're thinking it, it's good enough. Expressing your gratitude on a daily basis or building some kind of daily gratitude practice into your day is actually really, really good for your mental health. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that now. But last week I said to you that it was a kind of witchy video. So let me tell you the tie-in here, right? Witchcraft is at its heart the belief that our thoughts and our intentions can change the material world around us. And that is why I do daily gratitude practice. Don't get me wrong, talking about my gratitude is not going to make a guy turn up at my door with a big bag of money and say, here, clear your debts. That's going to make your life materially better. I'm not going to make somebody knock on my door and say, sorry, there's been a terrible mistake. Turns out that you were supposed to be living in this cute little cottage in the woods with room for a miniature Highland cow. Let's get you packed up and moving. That's not how the world works. But by recognizing my gratitude each day, it has changed my material circumstances in lots of ways. Some of those I touched on last week when I was talking about opportunities that have come forth because I started doing this daily gratitude practice, but it also has really helped my mental health. And once you are feeling better about yourself from a mental health perspective, it makes your other problems easier to handle. There is actually some scientific backing to this as well. It's one of the many, many times that I think that witchcraft and science go hand in hand, mesh together, and make something amazing. So we're going to talk a little bit about the health benefits of daily gratitude, and then at the end of the video I will give you some practical tips for how to build a daily gratitude practice into your life without having to put it on a YouTube video for everybody to see, or without having to come and tell me in your comments what you are grateful for. So let's start with the big one. In 2021 there was a fascinating study that seemed to suggest that doing some kind of daily gratitude practice, and I think in the study, they did a daily gratitude journal, and it showed a strong correlation with supported heart health. A research review said that those that keep a journal of gratitude every day can have a significant drop in their diastolic blood pressure, which is pretty amazing because a drop in your blood pressure is really, really good for your heart health and your general overall health. But this also corresponded with improved heart rhythm, and it regulated people's breathing as well. That is pretty amazing. The study itself was quite small. Off the top of my head, I haven't got the notes for that in front of me. I think they used less than 3,000 people for the study, so it is quite a tiny one, but it would be well worth replicating, I think. We already know that things like loving touch or the presence of somebody that loves you when you're recovering in hospital can really help with recovery rates from surgery and helps with breathing regulation and blood pressure dropping. To know that we can do this for ourselves using gratitude journaling is actually a really important development, I think, and I hope that they follow up and do more of these studies to see if we can get the same results again. It also supports your heart health by reducing your stress and improving the quality of your sleep. This is again something that has been able to be measured, studied and evidenced out. So we know that people who have a daily gratitude practice have reported less stress in their lives, they had better quality sleep, they had reduced blood pressure. So we're already knowing that daily gratitude can give us lots of different health benefits there. And that's just for physical health. It's also believed that daily gratitude practice can help to reduce symptoms of depression as well. People who do daily gratitude practice of any kind, and I'll talk you through some at the end, report reduced depression symptoms as well. They report being more satisfied with life, having happier social relationships, higher self-esteem. More study is needed on that one as well, because again, we don't know what's the correlation, what's the causation here. Maybe people with depression are less likely to follow through on doing a daily gratitude practice to start with. But those who have reported depression in the past and have since taken up daily gratitude practice have found their symptoms have lessened. And so again, it's well worth more study, but it's something that doesn't cost anything and is worth a try if you are feeling very, very low. Obviously, as with anything that I say on this channel, this is not medical advice. I am not a doctor of any kind. I do not have any medical experience. And so it's worth looking into the research for yourself. And it definitely cannot be used to replace traditional medical intervention. If that is what you need, there is no shame in going to a doctor and asking them for help. Activities like daily gratitude and how I've spoken before about box breathing and panic attack breathing, those can all help as supplements to traditional treatments. One of the reasons, though, that researchers think that daily gratitude practice helps with reducing depression and anxiety symptoms is because it keeps your mind in the present. A lot of the times with depression and anxiety, we're either telling ourselves a story about something that did happen that we wish had happened differently, or we're telling ourselves a story about what might happen and we're getting worried about that. But when we do our daily gratitude practice, we're asking our brain to find something now that we are grateful for. And that is a form of mindfulness. It's bringing us to the present moment where actually everything is okay. When you're very, very depressed, you might be really dwelling on things. If you are very, very anxious, you might be very, very worried about things. But here in this moment, right now, you're okay. And bringing our mind to this particular moment, which is what mindfulness is bringing your mind into a state where you realize, here and now, I am safe. Here and now, I am okay. In this particular moment, everything is fine. And so if we're looking for something that we are grateful for right now, this minute, even if we're spiraling about something, it can help bring us back to the present moment and help us feel grounded again and more able to contain our anxiety, deal with our anxiety. When you start listing the things that you're grateful for, your breathing will automatically settle from panicked breaths into calmer breaths because you're thinking about those things that calm you. That will help reduce the stress on your nervous system and make it much easier for you to deal with the challenges that come your way. Daily gratitude isn't going to make all of your problems disappear, but it is going to make you able to handle them easier. And that is all that matters, really. Everybody's life has stress in it. It's about how we deal with it. We know that daily gratitude helps reduce stress, improve sleep, calm your nervous system, reduce your blood pressure, increase your self-esteem, improve your social relationships, and generally make you feel happier in your life. And if that isn't the biggest cure-all, I don't know what is. But it can be difficult to know how to get started on it. Not everybody wants to grab a camera and start telling YouTube what they're grateful for each day, and I can't say that I blame you for that. There are lots of other ways that you can develop a daily gratitude practice that works for you and for your brain. Some people like to do it at night time, just before they go to bed. I personally prefer to try and start my day with the daily gratitude. It feels like it gets the day off onto the right foot, but there isn't a wrong way to do it. The thing is, being a grateful person, gratitude in general, is not a personality trait. It is something that you have to learn how to do. And the fact that it is not a personality trait and is something that you need to learn to do means that anybody can learn to do it. It doesn't take any skill, it doesn't take any talent, it doesn't take any special training. You don't need any equipment to start. You are perfectly capable of developing gratitude as part of your daily practice. And you don't need to be any particular special kind of person for that. It's really, really simple to get started with your daily gratitude, and there's different ways that you can do it. You can either start by keeping a gratitude journal. Maybe just write down one thing each morning that you're grateful for. If you're really feeling good, stretch it up to 5. If you really, really want to challenge yourself, try not to repeat any of those 5 the next day. See how long you can keep it going for. Read it back every now and then when you're feeling bad about yourself and think, gosh, I've got a lot of things written down here. For some of us, we're really, really busy and it's difficult to build in time for that in our day. Even if we know that it might be good for us, we procrastinate it, we put it off and we think, oh, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start Monday, I'll start next week, I'll start on the new year, and you just never get started. I understand that. There is an easier way to do it, but it does require you to actively remind yourself to do it. And that is any time through the day where you say thanks, cheers, thanks for that. Whatever it was, your partner handed you a cup of tea and you go cheers. Or somebody serves you in a shop and you go thanks for that and you leave. think to yourself, what am I actually saying thank you for in that situation? I'm grateful that I didn't have to make my own coffee and that somebody cared enough to make it for me and knew just the way I liked it. I am grateful that I managed to have a cheerful and friendly interaction with this shopkeeper. I'm glad that I've got the things that I came for. I'm happy that we're both having a good day. You will notice that you say thanks a lot in the day. It's a sort of autopilot thing. Someone held the door open for you, thanks. But what are you thankful for in that moment? You're thankful that somebody saw you in that moment. You're thankful that somebody cared enough to hold the door open for you, even though they're a complete stranger. Okay, process it in your mind, what you're saying thank you for, and that becomes daily gratitude practice. You don't have to say it to them. That would come across a bit strange, but think about it. Each time you say thanks, each time you say cheers, what are you thankful for? What are you thanking this person for? What are you grateful for in this interaction? That also helps if, like me, you do things like thank inanimate objects like cash machines. So I say thank you for my cash, and then I'm like, that feels silly. But then in my head, I'm like, oh, it's not silly. You're grateful that you've got that money in your bank account. That's what you're saying thank you for, really. And it makes your inanimate object talking make sense, actually. You can also use gratitude if you are a person who has a lot of spiraling mentally. And some of you might not know what I mean by that because it's not like a technical term or anything. But what I mean by that is, and for me, it used to happen a lot at night time. You go to bed and you think, right, brain's settled down now. All my screens are off. I can go to sleep. And then your brain comes across with a little list and says, excuse me, just before you go to sleep, I thought we could dissect this little interaction that we had the other day that upset you. And I think what we'll do is each time we go over it, we're just going to make it feel a little bit worse. We're going to make it a little bit bigger. Each time you think about it, you're going to think, well, they really don't care about me at all. And that's going to escalate and it's going to build up. And before you know it, we're stuck in a loop for the whole night, just talking about these things that make me feel bad. But here's the thing. You are actually in control of what your brain thinks about. I know, radical concept. And so as soon as your brain starts to go, you know, when Mary said that she didn't like my skirt the other day, you say, wait, I am really grateful that I have a friend like Mary who is able to just tell me her opinion. I am so grateful that I am the sort of person who feels safe to share your opinion with. I'm glad that I have the kind of relationships where we can be honest with each other about these things. And then you can start thinking about other things that you're grateful for as well. Try and find five things that I'm grateful for today. And in doing that, that's going to completely knock your brain off of its little spiral out session. Our brains are basically big, overexcitable toddlers that get easily overstimulated and occasionally want their comfort stuff. And so they're really, really easy to redirect. It takes a little bit of practice, like you're not going to head off that tantrum the very first time perhaps, but after a while, it will become second nature to you to stop your spiraling with something that you are grateful for instead. And that is just going to make your brain generally much, much happier. It is the equivalent of giving your toddler brain a little pacifier and a comfort blanket and telling them they're there, it's all okay, let's watch Bluey. And then my last tip is, as you might have guessed, accountability for your things. That is the big reason that I do my daily gratitude video, is because if I break that streak and don't do that each day, then I won't do it anymore. And if I'm not doing it like this, like to the camera, putting it up, posting it, then my brain can go, it's done. I've done my gratitude today. If I don't do that, I won't do it. Being accountable to somebody or something for doing my daily gratitude helps me a lot. Like I said, filming it isn't for everybody, but maybe you could post it on one of your socials, just something that you're grateful for each day. Or maybe you and a friend could do this together and you could each text something that you're grateful for each day. And if one of you starts sending memes and you haven't sent the gratitude yet, then the other one has to keep them accountable and say, I don't want to see any of your silly memes until you've told me something you're grateful for today. And they may well say, I'm grateful that you watched my silly memes, and that's okay. Having that accountability, having that person to check in with, is going to help you to keep it going until you can build it as an automatic habit for yourself. It takes people quite a long time to form habits. It takes people that are not neurotypical even longer to form habits. And for some people, you will never be able to form habits. That's just the way your brain is. You will need that accountability in there, because if you start skipping it, then your brain's going to start not bothering to look for the things you're grateful for the next day, and you'll have to start all over again. Like I said earlier, gratitude is not a personality trait. It's something that we do, not something that we are. And so you can learn to do it. You've got to make sure that you are forcing yourself to build it into your routine. And before you know it, it will become second nature to you. It will be something that you'll be walking down the street and you will see a little robin and you'll think, oh, I'm so grateful to see that little robin. It was so pretty. I'm so glad that I had this moment in nature. And you will think to yourself, who am I? Because before you'd started this practice, you would never notice that. You might have gone, oh, cute bird, and carried on with your day and completely forgotten about it. But when you start doing your daily gratitude practice, your brain stores and files those happy little moments. And our brains are finite. We can't remember everything. And so if you're filling up your storage in your brain with things that you are happy about and grateful for, things that make you smile, moments that lifted your heart, it's not going to have room in there for all of these horrible spirally conversations that you're having with Mary. It's just not going to have space. You're going to forget about those and you're going to lock in the robin and you're going to be so glad that you did. Join me on Monday for my next vlog. Not entirely sure what I'm doing yet, which there's a surprise. We've got a couple of witchy ones queued up. I've got a couple of days out planned out. You will be getting to meet my friend Anne very soon, and I've got some more art things to show you. And so basically all depends on which one I get done first. So you'll have to like and subscribe so that you can follow along and see what nonsense I'm coming up with next week. But if you can't wait until then to see me again, like I say, I am here every single morning in your shorts, taking a great big deep breath, letting you know what I'm grateful for. And I would love if you would tell me in your comments what you're grateful for. If that is how you need to build your daily gratitude practice, do it. Because I am now so high on the gratitude train that I am loving hearing other people's gratitude things as well. I love to hear the things that make you smile. It makes me really, really happy. I just love hearing the things that make you happy. It makes me happy too. And I'm so grateful for all of you who share those little moments with me. Just can't stop being grateful, apparently. I'll also be here on a Witchy Wednesday doing an intuitive tarot card pull for you. At the moment, I still have some private readings available. If you would like to book me, I don't do those on YouTube. They go private straight to your email inbox unless you want me to do it on YouTube, I suppose. And I've got 3 different types of reading on there at the moment, but the 12-month one will be disappearing soonish. You can book me for any of those. I will never slide into your DMs and offer you a reading. I've heard 1 or 2 people saying that they've been offered a reading from me. You haven't. I don't do that. Also, my friend has told me off quite extensively for never mentioning on this channel that I write books. So this is me telling you lot that I write books. We've got the Summer Realm trilogy coming out at the moment. They're all actually available for pre-order now, and they will all be out by the 20th of March. That was written by myself and 3 other authors, but I also have a short story collection coming out very soon that's just me. And if you want to catch up on my books before that, you can find them all on my Ko-fi. And you can get exclusive first looks at my stories on Patreon as well. My Patreon is dirt cheap. It is only £1 a month. You get access to absolutely everything that way, including all of my back catalogue as well, which are early versions of stories that later end up in my books. That's also the first place that I put any book news as well. So if you're at all interested in any aspect of my writing, Patreon is the place to go. I'll put my link tree in the description, and you'll be able to click through and find all of the different places you can find me online, all of my socials, my Patreon, my Ko-fi, my website, all of that stuff is all on my link tree. So like and subscribe, or don't, I'm not your mum, but either way, you have yourself a beautiful week.